Have you ever finished a day feeling exhausted and so tired? And looking back and you realize you haven't really made that much progress with your goals? Today, I want to dismantle this illusion of being busy. Hi, I'm June, like the month. We're going to explore how being busy with the wrong tasks ends up not just stalling our progress, but it's so clever in disguising itself as productivity. Let's uncover the truth behind busy work and let's learn how to focus on things that truly move the needle. These are the 5 points that I want to talk about today. The first is understanding the trap of busy work. What is it? This is when you're doing those tasks that feel productive. Busy work is the art of filling up your time with things that don't really matter. Things like checking your inbox constantly or going into meetings that could have easily just been a simple email. Usually these kind of tasks offer some temporary satisfaction, but in the long run, they don't actually help with bringing you towards your long-term objectives. They act as this distraction so that you feel busy and you feel like you've done something that satisfies the need to do. But the trap of busy work is that it really is this silent progress killer. And it's a trap because we all end up just distracting ourselves with the things that don't really move the needle. The second point I have is that busy work is a form of procrastination. There's this sneaky side to this avoidance. This is where busy work acts as this like subtle form of avoiding the more challenging and more important things that you know that you have to get to. I think all of us do this instead of really sitting down and going deep and writing that thing that I've been struggling to get out. You tell yourself that by doing something else, that is okay. Busy work is actually a form of distraction that disguises itself as productivity. And it's often thought of as being productive because you feel as though you're moving through time a little faster and you're getting a little bit of a kick of what you feel accomplishment should be. But because it's not actually aligned with what you actually have to do, and it's more those busy tasks that even if you hadn't have done them, they wouldn't make much of a difference towards your end goals. It just validates you. It gives you this sense of, I have been really busy today and I've done a lot so far. And you're subconsciously telling yourself that it's all right to not have worked on your bigger goal because you've been so busy with all these little things that have come up. And all of us always do this. I'm definitely guilty of it too. And the reason behind that specifically is because by engaging in this busy work, we're staying in this comfort zone of knowing these generally repetitive things that we do on a day to day, that we're really confident in those areas. It's much easier for us to repeat the tasks that we're so familiar with and we just do really quickly without really thinking about it too much. And that's why you prefer that and you prioritize that over what you actually need to do. Be more aware about this comfort zone and notice when you're falling into that safety net, because ultimately it's still going to be far away from you actually achieving what you wanted to do. So that leads me to my third point, which is the true cost of misplaced focus. What actually happens when you're doing this busy work? First off, you're clearly wasting your time on things that don't actually help you. What ends up happening with that is that you not only drain your energy and you spend all that time, you're not going to have much time or energy left for the things that matter. You tell yourself that you're busy, but then you don't actually get to what's important. That can reflect negatively on your performance. That can end up being very discouraging. Because when you don't feel valued for the work that you have done, which is all this busy work, you'll ask, why am I not being acknowledged for the things that I do? It can create a lot of discouragement that can make you feel undervalued or like anything that you are doing doesn't matter. So it's super important to understand where your focus should actually go. So how do we combat this? The fourth point I have is prioritizing these tasks and understanding where to put your focus in with the Eisenhower matrix. it is a really useful tool in order to identify what you should be focusing on. And it classifies it like this. It splits it into urgent versus important. This tool helps distinguish the value adding versus the busy work. Now, when you look at this, you classify your tasks, you do a task audit, put it into what is actually urgent and that you have to get done and important versus what is not important and also not urgent. By identifying what goes where, you can understand where to focus your energy into tasks. These are the tasks that you'll find are the actions that really align with your long term goals. And then you can be accountable for achieving them. The fifth point I have is to start your day off right in prioritizing the 1 to 3 things, 3 max, of your to-do list that just need to be done that very day. So you can use a combination of the matrix and understand what is both urgent and important and just pick 1 to 3. That way you're identifying the crucial tasks that absolutely need to be accomplished to make that day successful. And you're focused on executing those few tasks instead of being overwhelmed by a bunch of different distractions. As long as you can cross them off your list and that is the action that you've taken for that day, then you can move on to less like critical activities, things that fill your cup. I want to add is that it's easy to get lost in busy work, but it's also up to you to try to stay accountable as much as you can. And I get how hard this can be sometimes. So I suggest that you actually pull others into your journey. Don't just rely on yourself to do this because why not? Doing things with others, collaborating with peers, that makes all of this a lot more fun and a lot more easier. Find an accountability partner. Find somebody who can help you stay on track and get aligned with what actions you got to take. You guys could just check in consistently and see where you're at, even if it's on a week to week basis. And you look at what you were aiming to do earlier on and see where you're at with that goal. And because you've got to tell somebody about it, it's a little bit more like you've got to do it, right? There's that motivation to not let that person down. If you have already been so used to letting yourself down, sometimes maybe that approach might work. So maybe give that a go. I believe that creating accountability is totally up to you. To wrap that up, when we've peeled away these illusions of being busy, now we understand how we can approach it. When we eliminate this being busy work, then it's going to set you up for a lot more potential success and progress for you achieving your end goal. Remember, true productivity isn't about how much you do. It's about the impact of what you do. What are you putting in, the input, and what does that become as a result? Is that aligned with your end goals? Is that moving that needle? Is it bringing you closer towards your dream and achieving that? And I love that action and accountability piece. So I'm going to continue to try and drop a lot more hacks around that. Make sure that you're subscribed to the newsletter so I can drop you some insights. Okay? I hope you found that helpful. If you like the vibe, please subscribe. I'm Janae, and I hope you have an amazing day. Ciao. Bye.